continues to be a trending topic in the hip-hop world, I decided that I was going to take a look back over this case, this situation, and this paperwork, because I actually listened to an academic stream, and things just were not adding up. Now, of course, I'm not here to, tear nobody down. I'm not targeting nobody, harassing nobody, nothing of that nature. I'm just bringing y'all the facts when it comes to this situation.
Now, big shout out to Byron Blake, 618 Gaming Zone. Case law and court documents expose lies in DJ Academics' efforts to spin narrative for WACK100. Now, it's looking like DJ Academics is trying his best to spin the narrative for WACK100, but it's a little bit of a few inconsistencies in the story, so we're just here to iron out those kinks. DJ Academics just may not know any better, and since he doesn't know any better, we're gonna help him know some better.
And I feel like because Big U is fighting for his life, because he's in the situation that he's in, him and the other people that are being mentioned, bro, they deserve to have the truth looked at as hard as the false information. So today we're going to look at the truth, and I'm willing to put my stamp on it that this is the truth, just based off of what I know and, the circumstances surrounding the case. Now, I want to start this off by looking at the actual document and the actual language that's in the document, because it seems that Academics is confused. And so the information that he's putting out is causing other people to be confused, and it's really not that hard. We can bring clarity to this just by looking at the paperwork. Now, if y'all look at the actual indictment, the part where it mentions Future, it says in or around 2014. So what they mean by that is they don't have an exact date for sure.
Until WACK100 starts giving it to them. The only reason they don't have an exact date is because Wack ain't gave it to them yet.
That tells me that they are not being given this information by Future or Sierra or anybody, because somebody at that status would have been able to, when they give you the information, they can tell you what date they took the flight. All they got to do is look, okay, on this date, it's a transaction, or I remember the date, because people remember going through shit like this. But you see, it says in or around 20.
And that's just a matter of a simple email search Delta 2026 or 2015 or whatever, and the ticket information will pop right up.
14, meaning they don't have an exact date. Also, I want to play this clip for y'all of Academic.
Then if the feds don't have an exact date of when this happened, it does lead to the question of who told them that this situation had occurred, if not the wide open source reporting that WACK100 did on Clubhouse 4 years ago.
Attempting to break this situation down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare what he's saying to the actual language that's in the overt acts. See, in a conspiracy, in racketeering cases like this, they will say in or around 2014, and that gives them like a 6 month to a year window, going forward or backwards, to be able to pinpoint, an exact date. Like, if you ever been in trouble for real, this. They'll charge you with something, but the language will say on or about this date, even if they know the exact date, because they don't have for sure information of when exactly it happened, or it may not be reliable, and they don't want to get a whole indictment thrown out based on having the date wrong, because a person can provide an alibi. This is how they get around the whole alibi situation. At the same time, like I said, if this was coming from Future or Sierra, or even if somebody who was actually involved, like the security guard they claiming they got hurt and went to the hospital, if he was actually cooperating, then they would have access to his hospital records and the date that he went to. It's easy for him, man, I went to the hospital out there on this date. Here go the medical records and my history. It's that easy for them to get.
It is that simple for him to get that information. It seems like if he was accosted and he's the one who put the situation to law enforcement, he would have already given that information. But since it's clear that he has not given that information, the only proof that we have of who rendered this information to the federal government is the statement made by WACK100 on Clubhouse.
information if it was coming from somebody like that. And I think people are overlooking that part. But anyway, let's listen to academics attempt to break this down, and then I'm going to tell y'all what I think based on what I know, and we're going to sort this all out. Check this out.
Actually, the indictment does not mention the club thing. The club thing happened in 2013. Okay? Now, so if we start thinking, it says, and around 2014. Actually, this might be it. Well, anyway. Okay. Oh, here it is. In or around 2014, okay, after Future refused to pay and ceased answering the calls, they, Henley's associates, and it says Henley and his associates, which means he was there, committed violence against NDC and his associates and security for failing to show respect. Now, this is the issue with, I've seen Wack talk about this a bunch, and he's like, yo, man, there's something else in the mix, because I never said we touch Future.
As hard as they are.
And again, WACK100 lied and said that he saw Future get accosted in a club. So this whole they never touched him narrative, yeah, it doesn't look like that's gonna hold up for real.
Making it seem is really not. And you gotta understand, Wack is under fire right now for providing this information. And so he's trying to distance himself and say, oh, I didn't say this or I didn't say that. And he's nitpicking at very small things to, make his point. Anyway, if you look at the indictment, it never says that Future was assaulted in the airport. Overt Act 36. In or around 2014, defendant Henley approached NDC, a Grammy-winning recording artist, in order to collect money for a Detroit associate. In or around, this is Overt Act number 37 now. In or around 2014, after NDC refused to pay and ceased answering defendant Henley's phone calls, defendant Henley and his associates committed violence against NDC and NDC's associates and security for failing to show respect and pay money. Overt Act number 38 then says, in or around 2014, a few days after defendant Henley and his associates stomped out NDC, defendant Henley and a co-conspirator chased NDC through the Los Angeles International Airport.
Now again, we all know by now this co-conspirator is WACK100. And we all know that WACK100 is the one who told this, now famous story on Clubhouse. So it's a tricky, icky, Mickey, Vicky, sticky situation, for sure.
In an attempt to further intimidate and collect money from NDC. So what it doesn't say right here is that they attacked him while he was in the airport. It says that they chased him through the Los Angeles airport in an attempt to intimidate him. It doesn't say that they attacked him in the airport. It also says a few days after they stomped him out. And that is just the beginning of the paragraph, stating a few days after the physical altercation that occurred in the club. That's what they were referring to. So they're trying to make this sound like three separate situations, and it's not. What it is they mentioned, he was allegedly approached by Big U. And then after that, he ran into Big U and some associates in the club. He ran into them in the club. A few days after that, he was chased through the airport by Henley and a co-conspirator. Now, Wack is attempting to separate himself from...
You can't separate yourself because you made that bold statement. You know what? Let's find it clear.
Somewhere 16, you can find it on Google where them niggas had beat the shit out of Future and his security. Future ran out the LA club. Google... Future gets rushed in LA club. They was on him. That's why they was on him.
Talking about Trick from Detroit.
Trick from Detroit. So, that's broke, right? So all I know is, we always knew who owed somebody some money. So when we leave and we going to Atlanta, that story I tell Rich about when Big U saying, Wack, catch this flight with me, I want to show you something. And he took me out there and took me to the Four Seasons. He said, I'm going to turn this out to the 60s. They got a blood neighborhood around the corner. You could turn that out. And I said, nigga, you tripping. I went back to the airport and left. It was that trip. That was the trip. We on that red-eye Delta flight. Same one I used to always catch lunch dunked off on.
Right.
So the nigga when we come through, Big U he say, little bro, is that the nigga? I look, I said, that's for shoulder, bitch. I said, hey, Future, come here, let me holler at you. You know when you first come through, when you grabbing your shit off the conveyor belt on the other side of security? Nigga, that nigga started trotting through that motherfucker. Lead a bitch. I'm trotting right behind him. We on the Delta side, right? It ain't number one flight leaving that night going to Atlanta, right? All the other red eyes on American side. So the nigga breaks right and runs into the thing that connected to the plane, but it wasn't no plane. The nigga throws the phone. When I pick the phone up, it's another reason why Future ain't gonna say nothing, because he know I make the homie come on Clubhouse and tell the truth. He know. Right? I pick the phone up. He say, bro, I say, what's up? He say, what's the problem? I say, oh, the homie. He said, who? I tell him. He said, what he owe him? I said, his light ain't nothing but a dime, but he owe him. He played him. Nigga been ducking him. He say, Wack, my word, I sent it in the morning. Get me his wire. My word is on me. I got business with that nigga. Let him be. He said, let him be. I said, all right, you got that. I dropped the phone on the ground and walked back out. He sent Trick his money the next day.
Have you seen Future since then?
I seen him twice in one of the red carpet events. Future ain't that type of dude.
Right.
It was just he old. Like back then, we really had a system, nigga. Like this when we called when Plies old Slay, and we caught that nigga out here. Nigga, we snatched that nigga off the stage mid-performance.
Damn.
Like, nigga, it was, we had a nice run to where wasn't no board.
Yeah.
It was trick.
Nigga, we at the table. Ain't happening.
Right.
Yeah, when Plies old Slay, I had some insane niggas.
Oh, I ain't never heard this story.
Nigga, Plies old Slay. Slay paid the nigga to come do a video. He never showed up. Stood up Slay twice. Slay spending money in New York. Nigga didn't show up. I got Slay out here. Slay is out here with us. It might have been like BET weekend, All-Star weekend, some shit. Slay moving around LA with me. He with me. So a flyer come up. They said, bro, don't the nigga Plies on Slay? I said, yeah. Said the nigga performing at the 740 spot downtown. I said, Slay, you want to pull up on him? Slay said, yeah, let's go talk to him. My nigga Blue from Insane, P9, all them niggas, our whole crew. We go up in there, we get in there, that nigga mid-performance. Slay didn't know it was gonna go this way. We snatch him off stage, mid-bar. Bring him to Slay. Slay say, yo, man, why you come do the video?
Hey,
like,
Wack,
So, yeah, that's Wack and his many extortions. Let's get back into the Kantiana, though, what Byron Blake was talking about, because Wack is, again, acting like he's not the one who said this 4 years ago.
Right? But I want y'all to listen, and I don't know who this other person is that's arguing with Wack. I'm assuming it's just somebody from the chat, but I didn't want to edit that part out because I didn't want them saying, well, the audio been fixed or something. So I want y'all to listen to what Wack is saying in regards to this situation, and then we're going to chime back in.
Now watch this, go Google it. Just 2 weeks before that, in that same year, you will read, Future gets attacked in LA nightclub, leaves his security behind. Pull it up.
I'm Googling right now.
We was on his ass.
Did y'all hear that? He said 2 weeks before we chased him through the airport, which he's saying 2 weeks, but in the indictment, it just says a few days before, because they don't know if it was actually 2 weeks exactly. So they can't use the word 2 weeks because somebody could provide an alibi for 2 weeks. But this shows you that they are going off of his word because they don't have an exact date, which is why they saying in or around 2014. Anyway, sticking to the main points, he's saying we was on his ass. So he's including himself in the party of people who attacked Future in the club. He's including himself in that party of people. If you have any doubts,
He's definitely including himself in that party of people. He's definitely including himself in that party of people. WACK100 has just admitted that he attacked Future. Let's hear it one more time.
what Wack is saying in regards to this situation, and then we're gonna chime back in.
Now watch this, Act. Go Google it. Just 2 weeks before that, in that same year, you will read. Future gets attacked in LA nightclub, leaves his security behind. Pull it up.
I'm Googling right now.
We was on his ass.
We was on his A double double. We was on his A double double. One more time.
Future gets attacked in LA nightclub, leaves his security behind. Pull it up.
I'm Googling right now.
We was on his ass.
Did y'all hear that? He said 2 weeks before we chased him through the airport, which he's saying 2 weeks, but in the indictment, it just says a few days before, because they don't know if it was actually 2 weeks exactly. So they can't use the word 2 weeks because somebody could provide an alibi for 2 weeks. But this shows you that they are going off of his word because they don't have an exact date, which is why they saying in or around 2014. Anyway, sticking to the main points.
That is wild work, man. But we're going to get back up out of here, man. Shout out to Byron Blake, giving us this news we can use. This knowledge we're not going to get nobody's college. We are tapping in with the tap in all weekend long, going all weekend strong, giving y'all this docu-series on surviving WACK 100. Red dots to the left, you know the rest. And prayer and be blessed. We gone.